I recently have been scrolling on TikTok as one does, and I came across a bunch of videos about Twilight. They kept on like popping up on my For You page, and I think it's because I did watch every single one that they showed me. And it's like a bunch of girls, I wouldn't say a bunch, two girls, explaining the intricacies of Twilight. And I've never been like a Twilight girly. I've obviously seen all of the movies and I've read the books. And I remember that like I had a month of when I consumed all that media all together, and I kind of was in the Twilight craze, but it was literally a month and then I kind of was over it. But I personally think that this movie series and this book series really does have something interesting about it, mostly because of the aesthetics that were created by the first director. By the way, if you see anything in your redness or anything like that, just ignore it because I'm having an allergic reaction, and I've never had allergic reactions before. I think that, something might have changed since cancer. I think maybe the treatment or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it triggered something. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna go to the doctors, but if you have any tips that doctors usually don't tell you, please tell me. Twilight has created an aesthetic, basically, which is called twilightcore or Elena Gilbert core. 2000s autumn is an aesthetic that rose to prominence in autumn 2021 on TikTok. The trend is primarily focused on the fashion of the late 2000s, specifically emulating Bella Swan from the Twilight franchise and Elena Gilbert from the Vampire Diaries. It also touches on the Gilmore Girls. This in particular is talking about fashion more, because I wouldn't say that aesthetically speaking the Vampire Diaries and Twilight are the same. Maybe in the later movies after the first movie they're a little bit more similar, and it's largely due to the filter being removed, that blue hue. The filter is so intense, it is quite memorable because of that. There's always color grading and there's always filters when it comes to movies, but I think that not many of them leave a strong impression. Most of the time it's based on genre. I personally think it was a great decision on the director's part to go with this type of look for the movie. I just think that the first one definitely left a big impression in the pop culture. It definitely did create a new aesthetic for a movie that focuses on a love story, a supernatural love story. So what actually inspired this video was this post, and I remember that, it's an old post, it's not like something new at all. I don't remember when exactly we even talked about it, if it was more recent, just a few years ago, or if it was closer to 2012 or something like that. I genuinely don't know. I don't remember. It's this excerpt from the book. It's really funny because it describes Bella getting ready to meet Edward's family. I ended up in my only skirt, long, khaki colored, still casual. I put on the dark blue blouse he'd once complimented. A quick glance in the mirror told me my hair was entirely impossible, so I pulled it back into a ponytail. Okay, I bounced down the stairs. I'm decent. He was waiting in the foot of the stairs, closer than I thought, and I bounded right into him. He steadied me, holding me a careful distance away for a few seconds before suddenly pulling me closer. Wrong again, he murmured in my ear. You are utterly indecent. No one should look so tempting. It's not fair. I know that Stephenie Meyer is like, one of those American Christians who are way too intense for no reason, but goddamn, this look is what did it for you? Interesting. And the post also said, never forget that time that Bella wore a full-length khaki skirt to meet Edward's family, and he basically lost it because he thought she looked too sexy, or so sexy. Oh yeah, they also said the Mormon really jumps out in this paragraph. Yeah, it does. Back then I remember thinking, that's what we get? That's what the girls get right now when we're reading this book? This is the best we're gonna get? You know what? I want more books and movies about hot girls or girly girls. It's every single romance book, every single romance movie. It's constantly stuff like this where the protagonist is not giving us anything and the guy is also not giving anything either. So it's kind of like they're both pretty. For example, the actors are okay, I guess, but have some personality. If you're gonna do a tomboy, make her like at least a little bit alternative or something. Zhuzh it up a little. Another description that I also thought was funny was this. That quote is from Midnight Sun, which is basically a book the same as Twilight, but from Edward's perspective. She wore a dark coffee-colored turtleneck today. It was not tight, but still fitted closely to her shape, and I missed the ugly sweater. It was safer. Finding someone hot really does put a drip filter on your rose-colored glasses that you're already wearing, because you can be serious. You can be serious. Even when I didn't like some looks in Twilight definitely does have an aesthetic, like it does. Let's talk about Edward first, real quick. The guy doesn't really have much to offer. Also, by the way, don't worry if I didn't mention some outfit. I'll talk about it later when I'm gonna be doing the reaction to them. I feel like it's gonna be so fun to react to it. I haven't seen it since I was maybe 15. For example, this outfit. He's oftentimes put in gray tones, like the entire outfit is gray. Obviously, the filter doesn't help either, so sometimes you would see a shirt that could possibly be blue, but it's impossible to tell because it could be gray with just the filter making it look slightly blue, you know? It's crazy that he's like 100 years old and so rich and like got no taste. There's nothing wrong with this per se, like if you want to be comfortable.
My little Shrek.
But you can kind of tell by the way that his outfit is put together that this was a very conscious choice. It wasn't like something he put on to be comfortable. It is something that he thought looked good. Because I go outside wearing like a plush casual tracksuit with like a puffer on top. It's not cute per se, but this is for comfort. Edward doesn't feel shit, almost. Except for insatiable hunger. Still, he does things like this. You know, he wears this. That was his choice. Also, turns out, one of the points that the girls were like telling about on TikTok is that vampires do not grow hair. How the fuck would material like hair, which is basically kind of like clothes material, like any fabric, how could it possibly have survived for that long? The science in Twilight is very questionable. It's crazy. But you know, I think my theory is that all of them are wearing wigs because how the fuck else? Like, this is the moment where he stops the van and then gaslights Bella by saying, I was standing right there and I did not stop the van with my hand. You got problems. That fucker is so crazy. Just to be seriously like so annoyed that she saw him do this. You're the one who did it. Why are you mad at her? Edward is really something, honestly. Another look is this coat. Again, see, it's all gray. Thinking about a 17-year-old guy wearing this. Actually, you know what? It reminds me of a guy in my high school who did wear a coat like this, but he wore a black one and he wore it all the time. I have never seen him take it off. Not once. It's crazy. Even when it's really hot out. This makes him look at least 32. I'm just confused as to why Cullen's just insisted on making decisions that don't make them look normal and doesn't aid to blend them into society. A lot of the outfits that he wore are quite bland. I would say that, you know, the suits look a bit better, I guess. Let's move on to Bella. Parka. This parka, remember when, I mean, maybe it's the same right now, but I remember that like when I was in high school, everyone was wearing a goddamn parka exactly like this type of color, cut. And I just think about it now and I'm like, God, it just really wasn't the vibe. I mean, for comfort, sure, but in terms of just how uniform we all looked without even trying, it's crazy. Now it's the puffer from Maurizia, and I'm participating again. It's ridiculous, but it is comfortable. This look, I need to talk about this. First and foremost, I have always thought it was really funny the way that Edward is sitting there because the wings look like his wings, but they also look tiny as hell, which is for some reason kind of comical. Second of all, it's obviously the fact that this is Bella's outfit, that it's quite iconic, I guess, but it's iconic because of the scene that it was in, not because it's a good outfit, okay? I looked at a few articles while preparing for this because they had a lot of compilations of images, and I think there was a BuzzFeed article that ranked the looks from worst to best. Tell me why the second one on the list that was the best was Bella's outfit. This outfit. Can we fix it? Baby, can we fix it? This is ridiculous. That doesn't sound right at all. If you're having a hard time seeing what the outfit actually looks like, this is what it looks like. I actually hate the shoes so much. It's crazy. Yeah. I can feel my allergies getting worse just looking at this. What is going on? The jeans are fine. There's nothing wrong with them per se. They're just straight leg jeans. But what I do hate is I think it's a baseball shirt. Don't quote me on that though, because baseball is like the most boring sport. To me, I can hear people screaming in the comments already, but to me, this look from the movies scene. This is 100% one of her cuter outfits. It is casual and it does feel like it's Bella still. This is what early 2010s were like. These boots were, everyone owned a pair of boots like that. These leggings, just look at them. Yeah. You know, I think that if it was true black leggings, I think that it would be less offensive to me than this. I just always think that if the leggings don't have a look of pants, and these ones look like exercise leggings, it always looks silly with the leather jacket. I've already talked about it in my Pretty Little Liars video, where I personally think that we relied on hair and makeup a lot, way too much in the 2010s, like early 2010s, because we would genuinely wear the most bland shit imaginable, things that don't even look good. I mean, sometimes like in PLL, you remember some of the looks were really something. Some of them were cute, but some of them those looks would genuinely be saved by the girls having really great hair and great makeup. It was really something. Her wedding dress, I actually think, okay, so I don't mean to be like rude about it, but I think weddings and wedding aesthetics inherently have something cringy about them. It's really hard to make a wedding look good, because sometimes even when it does look, you know, like everything is right technically, it still has this cringe quality about it. And same with wedding dresses. It's very, very difficult. It's just very rare to see a good, pretty wedding dress. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. Weddings just make everything a little bit cringe. However, I think that with Twilight, a thing that I did not expect from them is for them to actually be able to pull off a nice looking wedding and a nice looking wedding dress. That's crazy. It's very rare, and somehow they pulled it off, because the dress does look, it's low-key pretty, like low-key beautiful. I kind of like the paneling. Let me show you in a better picture. Here, because of the lighting, you can see the paneling better. Yeah. I know that Stephenie Meyer was talking about how she really loved the back and like the pearls going down the middle. I don't really care for that. I don't know, I just don't care for that. But the front and the sleeves, that's low-key pretty. And the wedding setup was low-key pretty too. I'm telling you, it's rare. Like, I would say 98% of weddings are cringe. And I don't know what to, I don't know why. Just saying. There was also a ring, I'm gonna put it on the screen. And I remember that it was like a big deal. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was imagining what it would look like because it was described in the book, I think. And I'm gonna tell you right away, I don't like what the ring looks like. It triggers my trypophobia a little bit. Is that the fear of holes? Or dots, like when it's like too many of them, whatever. Like I don't know, I just don't like that. And also, rings are really hard to make pretty, and especially when it comes to wedding rings or marriage rings. Is that what they're called? It's just something about them, again, it's kind of like, but the ring, it's a hard no from me. Let's talk about the villains from the first movie. They got a whole vibe going on. You know, I really dislike, I think his name is James, the one that's on the left. It's not like his outfit is the worst. I really like the low-rise jeans that he's got going on, and like he got like a little gap between the jacket and the jeans. That's cute. The chains, yeah. But I just hate his hair so much, and like his little nosy attitude, you know, like Bella, she's calling to me. Her blood is gonna be so delicious. Just so desperate and so annoying and persistent. Just everything is annoying about him. So Laurent, he's got like an interesting thing going for him, that he never has a shirt on. There's like multiple outfits they show. I don't know if they're actually different outfits. It just seemed different to me because of like difference in lighting and stuff. I think there probably were different outfits. I remember that he was always shirtless, which is kind of a vibe. If you are a vampire that doesn't really get cold, why wouldn't you just come up with a shtick like this? Like, I just don't wear shirts, and I wear a jacket, like a big jacket on top, but I don't wear shirts. Never. That's my thing. Why wouldn't you come up with a thing, right? That's what someone needs to tell Edward because he's being boring. Where's a little crop top? Where's like a little, low-rise jean? Like a little short situation. Or like Paco Rabanne-esque metal shirt. Like give me Taeyong for L Japan. That's not how you pronounce it. Japan. Sorry. Why wouldn't you? He's got a thing going for him. I kind of like his look. And also he is definitely like the normal one out of the... He definitely did some bullshit. And like, obviously he's hanging out with these guys. So, Victoria. Listen, I did not remember Victoria being so slaveful. This jacket is great. I don't know what to tell you. This jacket is fantastic. And let me introduce you to this. So the one on the right, she reminds me of 18th century kind of vibes. Maybe she was born back then. I don't know her actual, like, her age as a vampire. The look on the right, the jacket, the vest underneath, very piratey. And as we know, I'm a pirate look enthusiast, so I'm gonna like it. But not only that, she's also got this iconic look where she's kind of wearing late 2000s outfit underneath a fur shawl. Like, bitch, yeah. Yeah, okay. Like, this is a vibe. Look at this. Look at her wearing the same type of thing. Low-rise jeans, sparkly top with this shawl on top. That's a... Sir, I did not remember her being so slaveful. I remembered her hair being like kind of cool. And like she was pretty and everything. But her outfits are kind of a vibe. Who knew? I did not remember that. I did not notice that the first time I watched it. And like she also, with this outfit, she has this cool warmer kind of thing that looks really badass. I vibe with this. This is good. This is good shit, actually. She's my favorite in terms of outfits, I think. Let's do Rosalie. She is a funky one. First of all, she's got this necklace all the time. I don't know. It probably has some kind of personal significance. I just don't remember. Again, I haven't seen the movie for a while and I'm saving it for the reaction. But this necklace looks like a police badge. Like, what the heck is that? So massive, and it has the same type of shape. Walking around with a police badge on her chest. First and foremost, I really don't know why she would go to high school. I'm not sure whether she was turned when she was 17 or not, but she definitely doesn't look it, and it's kind of suspicious. On the topic of Cullen clan, I think back then I thought about how that's low-key weird. They all go to high school and they go as couples while also being a family. All of them have the same last name, so they were adopted and shit. Girl, I don't know. Back then, I think that how I kind of interpreted it was, at first I was like, that's weird. But then I thought, oh, but they're just siblings. And then I kind of forgot about this whole situation because I don't think that there was a lot of discussions of them sitting in the cafeteria after the first half of the book or whatever. But technically speaking, I'm surprised that they weren't heavily shunned by this school, by all the students. I know that they weren't like buddies per se, but I'm surprised that everyone wasn't super creeped out by them. Because what do you mean? They all have the same last name. They all go to the same school. So they're all maximum 1 to 2 years apart. From a human perspective who just goes to school there, you just got a family where there's relationships going on, 2 couples straight up living together in a house, and they share parents. I know they're like supposed to be adopted. This is a heavy implication that adopted children are not actually your children, which is dumb as shit. That's like not how it works. Like, that's weird. And why didn't they think about it? Why would they all go to school? I understand that like some of them need to, like for example Edward, okay, Alice maybe, but the rest, they look 30 something. They don't look anywhere close to 17, so I don't think that it would have been a problem and no one would have thought, oh, why aren't they in school? She's also wearing a lot of gray. That's kind of a thing in this movie though, so I'm not gonna focus on it too much. People were also complaining, those same people who picked that Bella's outfit as their favorite also were complaining about this outfit and about the shoes with it and stuff like that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. It is a very quintessentially early 2010s, late 2000s kind of look. I don't think there's anything too offensive about it. I think it's kind of like a little bit of a vibe to have your jeans with your pumps situation going. Like, it's a little bit of a vibe. I'm not gonna be pissed about it. Emmett and his hat. What do I even say about it? There's not much to say. The shirt is boring and the hat is But you know what? This outfit, at least it makes sense with Emmett. I think there's another one that I have here that just makes no fucking sense, and it's this one. He looks like he's in a cult, which he low-key is, and it just doesn't suit him, like his personality. This whole sweater, it looks like his mom dressed him, you know what I mean? The vibes are off, and also why is he in all white? I have nothing against all white outfits, but it just looks so inorganic with him. It just looks strange. Alice. So Alice is a very faithful representative of the late 2000s fashion. Bella also has a moment when she has light outfit. By light, I mean it's more for 10 degrees outside kind of weather, and then she has massive arm warmers on, and it's like, okay, what weather are you dressing for? Are you dressing for 10 degrees or -40? Like, what's going on, you know? Kind of got the same thing going. She's one of the more interesting characters in terms of her wardrobe, but there's also a lot of strange combinations. Like, for example, here, right, they do look like they're in a cult. I do like her necklace. Everything else I don't vibe with, but again, it is within the norm for the time, and it is within the aesthetic that they established as, you know, Twilight franchise. So I think that in terms of styling, the stylist was doing a really good job. It's just some of these outfits I don't vibe with for my own reasons. Like, look at them. This is the weirdest shit ever. If I knew that both of them are Cullens and they live together and they are obviously 16, 17, I would think that this is so fucking weird. Like, you guys just are in an incestuous relationship and your parents are like cool with it. This is insane. Like, come on now. Why did Stephenie Meyer have to do that? It wasn't necessary, I don't think. This one, it's not cute, but it's not, like, offensive, you know? I think that with this outfit, the top part, so the necklace, even the little bolero, and the dress are kind of cute. But then, when you look at the entirety of this outfit, you also get leggings. Ballet flats are fine, but the leggings. If you are cold, put tights on. If you are concerned with modesty, put shorts on underneath. Like the ones that are for under the dresses and skirts. No leggings, please. We need to cut it out. Jasper boy looks like he is constantly constipated. Some of his looks, like, they're not bad. Like, for example, he's handsome and he's wearing, you know, sporty top or whatever. Looks like a guy who would ask you to go hiking on the first date, you know, that type of dude. I do enjoy his French boy hairstyle, but all of this is overshadowed by the Confederacy shit. I did not even know what that meant when people said things about Confederacy. I just thought, you know, some kind of, you know, an American soldier. And then I moved here and I learned about history here, and I was like, Stephenie, why? Was that necessary? Did you have to do that? In our day and age, to write a book and, like, specifically add that, what for? I don't understand. Did you want him to be unlikable? Did you want people to dislike him? Or were you appealing to some, you know, white supremacists? Or what is it? I genuinely don't understand. It's the same thing with the Vampire Diaries. This would be a cute look if he was, I don't know, a young professor or something like that, but I'm excited to react to Twilight soon, have a little chit chat about it, you know, because I haven't seen it in such a long time. I wonder what my thoughts are gonna be on everything, and I don't remember a lot, but I feel like I'm gonna remember things while I'm watching it, and I'm gonna remember my old feelings about it, and I'm gonna compare them to my new ones. Have a good day, besties. Bye.